morning, students. Welcome to Archana St.Xavier's web classroom, class 9 computer, chapter 1 introduction to computers. So here we are going to see about a computer, that is the introduction to computer. You all are familiar with computers and its uses, right? Computer is an electronic device used in almost every field, right? Even where it is most unexpected. Now we cannot imagine a world without any computer. So electronic device, everyone knows that computer is an electronic device. So what is electronic device? A device used to process data, that is a electronic device. A computer is made up of two components. One is the hardware and another one is the software. All physical components of computer including keyboard, mouse, monitor, etc. are a part of the hardware. Okay, the program and language used by the computer are called softwares. Like games, you all know, you all are familiar with games, right? So the essential components of a computer are hardware and software. And another, next, CPU, what is CPU? CPU means central processing unit. Apart from input and output device, a computer uses processing device to work on the input data, generate the desired output. Most important processing device in the CPU. The CPU is the brain of the computer. It processes the input to perform calculation and produce output. Okay, now let us see some basic terminologies in computers. What are the basic terminologies? That is input, processing, output and data. What is terminology? Terminology is a special word or expression for a particular subject is known as a terminologies. Now we see about briefly input unit. Input unit. The input unit provides a facility to enter data and instructions to the computer. Input mechanism supports many devices such as keyboard, mouse, joystick, barcode reader, universal serial bus, hard disk and compact disk also. Different input devices take a data in different forms and send it to the computer memory. Here I will give you some example. Use of keyboard, you just enter the data and instruction is very much similar to the uses of typewriter. Another way to input data is reading through a barcode reader. Barcode reader is normally seen at superstore, right? Everyone has visited the superstore, right? Remember, when you purchase a pack of biscuits, the shopkeeper uses a small device that presses a button on the device with the sound of a beep sound. The barcode printed on a tag of the biscuit pack is read and copied to the computer in order to generate bill. Mouse is also used to input data into the computer. Mouse is a device that controls movement of the pointer on the display screen. It is a small object with a few buttons which you can roll on a hot surface. As a mouse is moving on the surface, the pointer on the display screen is also moved. A mouse must have at least one button. Most of the input devices convert the data into the machine readable form. So the information provided to the computer is known as input. Okay, let's move to output unit. Output unit is normally a visual screen called monitor. You can see the output in monitor, okay? Display screen is a part of the monitor. The older monitor used to provide black, white and grey shade outputs, which usually was the text and numbers. Presently, color monitors are available. To output sound, special devices such as speakers and headphones are used. To print the output, printers are used. Optionally, the output is directly published on the website or sent as a file via internet. Here in this case, information or result comes out after the process. That is known as output. Okay. Take page number 4 in your textbook. See the picture, central processing unit. So here the picture shows that the user will give the input to the computer and in CPU there will be the process and after that the output will be displayed to user. Then we discuss about the characteristics and advantages of computers. Everyone knows about it. Computers are very useful because of their characteristics like automation, accuracy, long-term storage, consistency and programmability. These characteristics describe the efficiency of the machine to execute the given task. Hence, these characteristics are also known as the efficiency-oriented characteristics. These characteristics are described below. Let's we see one by one. That is automation. Computer can automatically perform a given task. So here, once data and necessary instructions are stored in the computer memory, the human intervention is not required. In accuracy, computers are able to perform complex arithmetic and logical computations with the highest accuracy. For example, calculator. Like calculator, the computer also using for calculation purpose. Next one, long-term storage. Computer can store large amount of data in its secondary storage for long time. The stored content can be recalled easily on request unless specifically asked the content will be preserved in the memory. Then, ability to perform mechanical and repetitive tasks. Computers are able to perform mechanical tasks in a consistent manner. Then next, programmability. Computers can be programmed to execute predefined set of instruction. Writing program once and executing it many times saves a lot of time and cost, right? So if we write the program one time, the computer will save it to the memory. Next, software. Computer cannot perform any task on its own. It needs a data and step-by-step machine understandable instructions to perform the intended task. This set of instruction is called a program. A development of program becomes easier if a step-by-step guideline to solve the given task is called algorithm is designed. This is known as software. And then next one is hardware. What are the hardware parts you can see? Keyboard, mouse, central processing unit and other peripheral devices also considered as a physical entities, and hence this is called a hardware. And finally, firmware. What is firmware? Firmware means software instruction many times come integrated along with hardware. For example, you take the washing machine. In your home, everyone having washing machine, right? So washing machine and traffic signal lights, digital camera and microwave oven have some software programs inbuilt in the devices. So later you will learn what type of memory is used for firmware designing. So students, this chapter comes to an end. I will give you a small summary. Computers are machines that take data and instructions, store them into the memory and execute them on demand. In this chapter we saw working of typical computers. We learned about different input, output and processing unit with examples, right? Because of characteristics like speed, accuracy and storage capacity, computers are used for many applications. In this chapter, we saw highlights of the importance of characteristics of computer along with some applications, right? Finally, we discussed the concepts of hardware, software and firmware. Okay? Here I completed the chapter 1. You just go through the lesson. Thank you, students.